Hi, Holly. How are you? And hello, everyone tuning into the replay and everyone filing in. Let me find this real quick, share it, tag people, and then we'll get into it. Who's exhausted? I was feeling fine, and then right whenever I went live, it's like, I don't know if that's just me catching up or what the deal is. Hey, Susan. How you doing, love? Okay. All right. Computer's catching up with itself, I guess. Hi, Ben. Hey, Cassandra. All right. Yep. Okay. I just remembered I need to make a note. Okay. Got it. Notes. Me and notes. If my phone is occupado, then it goes on a post it. Hey, Anna. Sonia, hello, darling. How's everyone doing? Good to see you too. I pulled from 4 decks as usual, but we didn't get a whole lot of cards that came out, so we'll see if the bottom of the deck energy starts yakking or what. I don't know, but we got a lot of reversals too, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Oh no, that doesn't make me feel better. Oh man. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better, Susan. Oh, good. Good. We're here to support you. Whatever you need, love, okay? Everyone sends Susan some love. She had to say goodbye to her lovely, beautiful flower, the kitty cat. That is so hard too. I know. All right. Well, give a couple more minutes for people to file in. I remembered what I was going to mention to you guys and then I forgot it. But my body's also recovering from putting that trampoline together. It's like muscles that I didn't even realize I still had were sore. All between the rib muscles, because it takes a lot of upper body strength to stretch those springs, you guys. And I don't often do that move, especially with muscle. And I'm pretty strong. So, I was hulking the freaking springs, yanking them. They have a tool now, so that's helpful. Um, but yeah, like what I would call my love handles, there's muscles there. So those were hurting. I was like, ow, my love handles hurt. So yeah, it's distracting whenever you got like random muscles all over your body you didn't realize you still had that are screaming at you. Girl, it was bad. But I drank a lot of water, a lot of tea, trying to flush, the lactic acid out of the system. What the hell is that muscle, Holly? What is that? Is that the one, the love handle one? I don't know what that muscle is. It's really funny because I aced human biology in high school, like perfect 100% scores, and now I didn't retain all of it. 37. Girl, I'm 39. Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, wow, I'm almost 40. And I thought my aunt was old when she was 45. Like, ooh. But I'm pretty sure I'm better physical condition. I don't have all the aches and pains and the really bad neck and shoulders and all this stuff. You've broken your ribs before. Ew. In between your ribs? Okay. Yeah, those things suck. Because anytime you move your upper body, you're using rib muscles too. And you really become acutely aware of that fact whenever they're sore. And it's been a really long time. I think it's been probably since I moved in, because when I moved into my house 5 years ago, I did all the moving by myself, disassembled and then reassembled furniture. You know, my brother-in-law did help me load stuff onto the trailer, but taking it off and taking it in and all of that, that was all up to me. So yeah, I did it all by myself, and I was sore after that one. Hey Wendy, how are you, love? We're just talking about sore muscles because I didn't know I had muscles in certain spots until the trampoline assembly. So that was amazing. A really good workout though. I bet if you put a trampoline together once a week, you'd be ripped. I would be anyway. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me figure out what I got going on here. And we'll start reading some chords. I am feeling better, but whenever I was feeling great, and then when I went live, like when the countdown was over, all of a sudden I was like exhausted. So I was like, whose exhaustion am I picking up on? Yeah, 5 years ago. You were mostly moving yourself too? Yeah, I am a chronic do-it-yourselfer, and it's difficult for me to ask people for help. So I just did it all on my own. I'm learning, I'm getting better at it. But 5 years ago, I still wasn't very great at it. Rainy weather is worse, aches and pains. Aw, it's been beautiful and sunny here lately. The past, I think, 4 days now, 3 or 4 days. Busted 2 ribs in a mosh pit. Oh my gosh, Susan, you're so hardcore. Ew, ow. They have to break ribs to get a kidney? How the goodness gracious, woman. You're tough. All right. I haven't had any kind of major surgeries except for C-sections. Those are the only surgeries that I've ever had. I had 3 of them. Rain for a week and a half in New Jersey. Dang. Is that normal for this time of year for you? Lucky. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my babies, my little sprouts. I sent some pictures to Kara because we both are really into gardening, nerding out on that kind of thing. But like every time Jay comes over, I show him how big they've gotten. And I'm gonna have to show him because all of them started sprouting pretty much at the same time. I did only have my sunflowers, but now they're getting huge. They're leaning over. I don't know what the deal is. I flipped them, and they're now leaning in the other direction towards the sun. So I don't know. They're the mammoth ones though, so I guess we'll find out. Oh, your shoulder. Aw. Yeah. Weight of the world, honey. That's a lot of the time what shoulder issues are. Cold. Oh wow. You love to grow stuff, Wendy? I've got so many sprouts, and right now they all look the same because I swear they sprouted overnight because I check on them, and like every morning I have them all in the bay window. So I open the window, make sure, I check them and see how big they are. It's been just the sunflowers and then a couple of little tiny sprouts poking out of the dirt. But now all of them just overnight, now they're like an inch tall. And I'm going to be planting some more seeds over the next couple of days. But from surgery in March. Okay, yeah. Dang. I'm sorry, love. Just go easy on it. And stress will definitely, compound that issue. So de-stress, decompress as often as you can, especially with these energies lately. All right. Here we go. We do have perception with the yin and the yang. Did anybody see the post that Steph posted to the group? I think it was today or yesterday, one of those days. I saw it because I've been trying to check my notifications. So it was at the top of my thing. I haven't been scrolling much today. But, I did this morning. It could have been this morning. Doesn't matter. Talking about the Taoist perspective on the creation of the universe and how it was all just void beingness, like the womb, right? And then it started to, with motion, because energy and motion, we know that. But the dense matter hangs at the bottom, and then it's like the ether up at the top. Anyway, if you guys get a minute and you see that, check that out. That's probably because I saw it today, but still, just bringing it to y'all's attention. Steph posted it to the group. Kara should look into incorporating copper wires. Yes, I have copper. I just bought copper wire, and I got some brand new wire cutters so I don't run into any issues because I have an old pair and then I have a jewelry pair. So I got a brand new pair and I have bamboo rods. So I'm going to be doing that whenever I move my seedlings outside. But yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know how that works for it. But I don't really have a lot to compare it to. I can compare it to my friend Amanda's garden, but we're also using different soil. She uses soil from here, and I bought Fox Farm soil. Anyway, perception. Okay, things are becoming clear right now. We've received a lot of messages of clarity surfacing. And with everything going in forward motion, and we're not out of eclipse season yet. We have another one coming up. But this is going to help to maybe foggy things up for a little bit, but bring very crystal clear clarity. I heard certain clarity, so I don't know if there's something that you're kind of teetering on, but you'll come to a point of clarity where you're certain of the direction or the choice or whatever it is that you're taking. Emotional release. I have been like a big baby, you guys. I told you. It's been like a week and a half now. I still not like sadness and stuff like that, but certainly that has come up too, like, but mostly when watching shows on TV or something. But also like welling up with joy and happiness and the beauty in situations. And like one of them today, I turned on because Nicole mentioned it. I didn't know there was a new season of Love on the Spectrum. And so I had that playing while I was trying to do my makeup. That was a bad idea. Okay. Don't try to put your makeup on and watch Love on the Spectrum at the same time, especially if you're feeling emotional, because I was like a blubbering idiot. Not 5 minutes into the show. Okay. I was already the waterworks, and makeup and tears don't mix. Emotional release was big for weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, I guess, because I'm like a week and a half in already, and I'm just like crying at the drop of a hat. can't get through saying something about a show even before I'm crying. So yeah, let all of the emotions flow. It's sacred, okay? Your tears are sacred. They are cleansing. Salt, right? You know that a lot of witches or shamans, you know, all of the magic folk, not all of them, anyway, a lot of them use salt for cleansing purposes, for spiritual practices. Hey, Matt. Um, you've been summoned to shine upon thy asses. Thank you, good sir. Um, so yeah, you could be experiencing a lot of emotion right now. Tears are sacred. The salt is cleansing, right? It's known, widely known as something that's purifying, that's cleansing. It also is literally, it cleans bacteria. So yeah, you always get teary, Susan. Girl, I have a Pisces moon, okay, but I have so much Capricorn. I have so much earth in my chart, it's ridiculous. I have Taurus and Virgo too. Just, I'm very earthy, but I have the Pisces moon, and we know Pisces are ball bags, okay? And then being your moon sign, ruling your emotions, it can get rough. But usually I can keep my composure for the most part, but lately it's just been waterworks, man. Um, you carry salt, Susan. I love that. So allow the tears to flow, whether they're joyful tears, whether they're sad tears, or you don't even know why you're crying tears. Just let them flow because they are very sacred. This is part of your transformation. And I love that it has transformation. Also, bottom of the deck with this caterpillar. Matt, this is the card I was talking to you about earlier. That transformation card. And it's card number 22. 2 plus 2 is 4, solid foundations. It's the becoming, because 2 is alignment and it's things coming together, right? So 22, that amplifies the meaning of the number 2 itself, but also adding 2 plus 2 when we break it down, like in numerology, it breaks down to 4, which is solid foundations. So this transformation is part of, or this emotional release is part of the transformation. You need to ground yourself. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory to us now at this point, because we're, you know, if we've been around the spiritual community, we know to ground, right? So grounding, especially if you're feeling emotionally turbulent or mentally, you could be having bouts of overthinking, or like obsessing over certain subjects, people, things, whatever, situations. You can even obsess over saying something wrong to a cashier 15 years ago, and you feel like a buffoon. And I'm going to promise you, they don't remember that at all. But you do. So let it go. Retreat. Go within. Card number 40 also breaks down to 4. 4 and 0. 0 is the beginning. It's the alpha, the omega, the void, the womb, the source of all creation, right? It's the portal. So 4 with the solid foundations, and then that God number, that source number, that portal number. Okay, this is being brought to my awareness as very significant. And then the stars in the sky right there, you know, see the bird down there looking up, and then there's a starry sky above it. It's like the universe conspiring in your favor, especially because you're undergoing this period of transformation. You have the starry sky back there too. It's just like everything is converging to this point, and that's the zero, the um the zero effect, the God source effect. And they gave me like this big energy, and that's why I kind of like for a second. It was a lot, and it was just like really big energy, kind of like the Big Bang, and they showed me like the contracting, and then the exploding out, which also happens with suns. Again, Kara, she's not in here yet, I don't think, but her Hi Princess, her hypno session, when she went to that experience as a sun, first she was expanding and she was like self-sustaining, and then she started to contract and then started to get cold and dense, and then was like that for a while until she got sick of being that way, and then she just like went to another lifetime. um, but it's very much like the beginning or the big bang, how that's described or whatever. It's source expanding out. This is what you're getting ready to do. So you're contracting right now, things are getting cold, things are getting dense, it's getting uncomfortable, but you're about to explode. Um, and we've got the masculine energy showing up perfectly, divine timing with that description, because that's kind of what it looks like as it's exploding out to me, the visual that I got. Slow and steady, though, you're going to have to balance a lot, because when you're put under a lot of pressure, when things are being so compressed and dense and cold and tight, it can be very overwhelming. I'm getting like a claustrophobia type thing. Thank you, Anna. 22 minutes in. 2 plus 2 is 4. Um, so slow and steady. You need to balance. You need to stop. You might feel rushed because of this. Hey, Lisa, because of this, like this anxiety, this discomfort of being in this space between. This could be you waiting on something to come to fruition, and it's like you feel this sense of urgency, but they're like, no, you need to slow down, balance that energy, because that's that chasing, that's that lack that you're feeling coming up. Even if you don't consciously feel that way, see it that way, your awareness, you don't feel like you feel it that way, it's coming up because it's there. Okay. So if you're feeling that rushed or that anxious energy, time to slow yourself, steady yourself, breathe, ground. We had the grounding card. Do your breath work. Okay. You need to balance, slow and steady. Okay. It might feel like you need to rush ahead. That's card number 3, 3 being number of creation, of the beginning stages of creation. Hey, Wendy. So if you feel that anxiousness or that rushed energy, or like you have to action, action, action right now, but there's really not much to take action on, or you're not clear on what to take action on, you need to just sit with that and transmute that, because that is the energy that is surfacing, that is putting off your manifestation more and more. It's all about divine timing. Divine timing is alignment. So this is that one last thing that's holding you back from full alignment, because it's residual energy or it's unconscious energy. You're not aware of it in your thoughts or your feelings, in a conscious way, but it's there. And that's why you feel that energy surfacing. Kara, hello, love. I just referred to your sun experience. Um, so slow and steady, balance that masculine energy, because you have new beginnings coming in. Okay, we have new beginnings, card number 2. That's another 2. So 2s and 4s are important right now. 2 is things coming together. 4, foundations. So you're building it. It's happening. It's already there. And 30 breaks down to 3, which is beginning stages of creation. So divine timing. It's all about divine timing, you guys. You're healing, you're balancing, you are, experiencing these things. Again, card number 20 breaks down to a 2. Crikey. So I mean, it's aligned, y'all, but you're healing, and this, you might feel like you've been stuck or stagnant, not being able to move forward, things not manifesting for you in the way that you expect to or the way that you want them to, but it's because you're still healing this unconscious energy that you carry with you, that lack energy, that residual energy that you're not consciously aware of. So allow these things to surface and move through you. Cry it out if you need to. Express that energy in any way that is healthy but makes sense for you. So if you're experiencing like an imbalance of the divine masculine energy, or the masculine energy, because it could be divine, it could be toxic masculine, whatever. But if you're experiencing like an imbalance there, then going and doing some kind of physical activity, or actioning something will help to harness that energy and put it into something where you can express that out and set the intention to express that out. Always twos for you too. Awesome. I see it as filling up with the feeling and sending it down to earth ground. Yeah, exactly, Cassandra. Yeah. Don't second guess yourself. Yes, that is right. Especially if it comes naturally for you and it's just something that you just do. Absolutely. Never second guess that. Knight of Cups showing up here on the bottom of the deck. Okay, this is new offers, opportunities, positive news, new cycles, even just it's like impromptu, like you didn't expect it, I guess. Something positive happening and you being able to take some kind of positive action. This is something that fulfills you, something that makes you joyful in some way, even if it's like news that your kids or grandkids or your cousins or your friend from long ago or a new friend that you just met online that you really click with or whatever may be coming to visit you or something like that. Something that's going to cause you to feel happiness, cause you to feel joy. It's going to herald these positive new beginnings, these positive interactions, because you haven't been experiencing those thus far. We have the Ace of Cups showing up in the reverse, and they're like, this isn't the energy that you're currently in, is what you're moving away from, because he is walking away from that energy. This card was behind him on the bottom of the deck. So they told me he's walking away from that energy. The things that are not fulfilling for you, you're coming up out of that Four of Cups energy with that showing up bottom of the deck. It's like they're not seeing this opportunity that's being handed to them from the heavens, literally out of thin air, because they're focused on all of those three empty cups and how they're just kind of dissatisfied with their life and the way that it's going, blind to the fact that they create their own experience, or temporarily forgetting. We get temporary amnesia. We came here with amnesia, y'all, so no judgment, okay? But this period where, yeah, Ace of Wands also in the reverse, things weren't moving forward, things were not fulfilling, or you've been really, being tossed by the tides of your emotions, perhaps felt Temperance in the reverse, out of balance. But you're coming up out of that. You're walking away from that with that Knight, okay? You walked away from all that shit. And now you're getting Six of Pentacles. You're sowing your seeds. You have faith. You just know that these are the seeds I'm planting. This is the harvest I'm going to reap. You're being celebrated. You're being exalted. You are probably recognizing within yourself the true power that you hold. And if this hasn't happened yet, it's coming, okay? They're saying keep going because it's almost here. Universal love is true love, so love all. Love every single experience, every single situation, even the unpleasant ones, okay? Because they were here to teach you something. They might have broken you, yes, but they cracked you open so that you could heal, okay? And that's more valuable than its weight in gold. So universal love is true love, so love all. Love everything. Find the good in every single situation, even if the only good in that situation was, you know what, I learned not to trust someone like that. I learned to follow my intuition. I learned whatever it is. It isn't about being right. It's about doing the right thing. So let go, forgive. Even if you can't ever change someone's mind about you, it's not up to you. Okay? Because the version of you that they hold in their mind is not you. Even if that was 5 minutes ago. Okay? You can change anything and everything about yourself. You can learn, you can expand, you can change your mind. Okay? So stop putting so much value on what the way that others perceive you. Okay. Protect your dreams. You are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you are ready to release them. So don't go telling anyone and everyone about what you're doing, what you're planning, anything like that. You need to focus on building that, not letting everyone know about it, because there are some people, even if they have the best intentions, they can accidentally, there's some evil eye thinking, oh, that's probably not something they can accomplish, or they're maybe they're jealous of what your dream is and they know that they could never achieve that, and so they're crapping on your little parade there. But keep your intention pure. We have pure intention. Okay, keep your intentions pure. Got an offer to be interviewed on a podcast today. I told her once my grief period and I get my project more on track, I'd love to interview for the show. Oh, that's awesome. Cool, Susan. Definitely take your time though. Yeah, for sure. Pure intention. The fairy of manifestation. This is funny because that's the next card. The fairy of manifestation will help you use your wishes wisely, manifest your heart's desire with pure intention and for the highest good of all. Okay, so even if it is something that's beneficial for you and others, maybe telling them right away will wreck the surprise, or maybe it could throw off the energy because then they're desperate for this thing to happen and maybe it's not set in stone yet. Whatever the case is, just keep things hush hush for now. Right now is a time to like adjust your focus on your inner vision. Make changes because your desires change, your needs change all the time. So um, just take the time right now to go within, to restructure, to, kind of take a mental stock over what you need, what you don't need. Is this still something that I want? Is this still something that I feel aligned to? Or do I want to change my mind right now? Because you can change your mind at any time, right? Manifestation actually came out of the deck. Be very honest and clear about what you wish to manifest in your life. Now write it down on paper. Manifestation, step 1. Speak it into existence. Visualize it. Feel it as if you're actually experiencing it, because your brain does not know the difference between an actual lived experience or an imagined one. Okay? You made the mistake of saying something to someone about a job and it went out the window. That's okay, because you learned your lesson. Now better opportunities will come and you will have that discernment next time. So just know and expect those opportunities to manifest, because manifestation. All right. And the card right before that talked about the fairy of manifestation, and she's right there. So there you go. Heal the past and fix tomorrow. We got the past, present, and future card yesterday. I think a couple times in this past week, but you're healing the past right now so that you can have the brightest future. You're healing that timeline so that now you can switch your trajectory onto a higher timeline. You heal in the present, right? We heal the past in our present for our future. So that's what you're doing. And any kind of perceived misstep or hiccup or anything that has surfaced lately, you're overcoming these obstacles. You're letting go of the residue. You're moving through this just as you have before. You're bringing the unconscious to light. And then we have the fairy of light showing up. Light's here, y'all. She's beautiful. The fairy queen of light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. So transmute the fuck out of that shit. Okay. All that is white noise. And what do we do with white noise? White noise is basically, energy. It's energy that's not being used for a specific purpose, like a channel, right? But it's still there and it's moving. It's all around. So tune in to the channel that you want to portray in your life, right? So tune into that energy. Bring light to the darkness, to these shadows, to the things that are unconscious that you need to work on right now. So those are being triggered, those are surfacing, so that you can heal that. Those are all having to do with the past. So we heal the past in the present for our future. You saw a fairy today walking home? Oh, I love that, Princess. Awesome. That is so cool. Look at you. And then confirmation. I haven't used the fairy deck in a while, so I just grabbed it today and I was like, oh, the fairies want to talk. So they're talking about your light, your ability to shine that light on the darkness, your ability to manifest, your ability to use that pure intention for the highest good of you and all involved. So use these gifts to your advantage, all right? Don't focus on the things like the lost job opportunity or anything like, the negative stuff. Yes, acknowledge them, that you have to work with stuff in the 3D, right? Give it as much attention as you need to, but no more than that. Don't give it another thought. Don't give it another worry. Focus on what you're building, what you want to do, and visualizing these new opportunities and getting into that knowing, into that alignment that they are here and they will manifest for you. Be like your spirit guide. As I'm saying that, be like your spirit guide. They just assume the energy and then they're embodied, right? They embody that energy. And in the spirit side of things, all you have to do is think of something and it's there, right? So quicker than the speed of light, it's instantaneous. So be like your spirit guide, have that knowing, have that vision. It might not be able to immediately tangibilize here because we are in a physical realm that still takes a little bit of human time to catch up. But things are changing, instantaneous manifestations becoming a thing. And it does that quicker whenever we learn how to fully align to the things that we want and stop focusing on the things that we don't. So be like your spirit guide, be the knowing, because when you know that you are, that I am, right? Then it must be. So, literally speaking things into existence. If you believe that you can do that, you will do it instantaneously. Um, so, back on the things, there could be injustices, imbalances, miscarriages of justice, anything you feel like you got slighted, you got shorted, or somebody's taking more than they're giving in return. Okay, this is a lack of reciprocity. This is something that's caused moon in the reverse, probably a lot of confusion, but also a lot of turbulent emotional energies. Happy birthday, Linda. um so a lot of things surfacing, but could be getting a little foggy right now. That moon is in the reverse. It's a full moon. It's things, culminating, coming to ending, but it's also, when it's in the reverse, it can be like the lower frequency energy of Neptune, which can be um like, dang it, what's the word? Disillusionment. Four of Wands showing up in the reverse. Lack of feeling solid, lack of alignment. This could be just barely missing opportunities. This could be things that you thought were going fine being kind of tossed upside down. Shit's been wonky. Like, it's. Okay, we have Eight of Cups. It did show up in the reverse, and it's a giraffe being able to see clearly and walk away from those cups. They can see above those cups because they're a giraffe, duh. But they see something they don't like, they're walking away. But this is the inability to do so until your world gets turned upside down, your emotions get turned upside down, the situation, these people show their true colors and it's not anything like they were portraying to you in the beginning, whatever it is. And now it's got you, unable to really stay or go. It's, I see this lack of reciprocity, or I see this imbalance in what's going on, but I can't tear myself, to let go of it. There's something that is keeping me here. Shadow work. Okay, go back to that feeling. Why do you feel that you need this, that it's the end of the world, that this thing may be leaving your life, or that this thing isn't working, so you need to walk away from it? Why don't you feel that you have the strength? We have the strength card. It did show up eventually in the upright when it came out. It kind of landed like this, but they were like, no, you need to put it in the upright. The translation was that you feel like you are losing your power. You feel like you are powerless, or you feel like you don't have the strength to overcome, but you do. This situation is making you feel that way so you can find your power source again, so you can find your strength, your confidence again, your abundance again. We have the strength, or above the strength right there, it's card number 8, if you can see that. 8, infinity, abundance. So all of these perceived negative or painful, difficult situations are not here to break you. They're here to show you just how strong you are so that you can step boldly into your power, into your confidence, so that you're not, you know, second guessing yourself. You're not disempowering yourself. This is ultimately for you to be able to see clearly, for you to be able to discern clearly. Okay, the Queen of Swords is fair. She's just. She can see above the fog. She's above the clouds. Okay, she's wise. She's a damn owl. Okay, and she can see in the darkness. She can see in the shadows. So you're in the shadows so you can learn to see in the dark, baby. They're forging you. They are not trying to destroy you. They are forging you. Okay, so overcoming confusion. This is what you're healing with that healing energy. Okay, you are a healer. And as a healer, you must first learn to heal yourself. You must first learn to unburden yourself. 10 of Wands in the reverse. Okay, you need to overcome the negative thinking, the criticism of yourself, maybe yourself and others too. Stop. 5 of Swords. It's like, stop fucking fighting already. Okay, that mouse is like, oh God, you're not going to kick me out of here. Motherfucker, I said get out. So if you need to place boundaries, place them boundaries. Hold those boundaries. Enforce them, okay? And if people don't observe them, then they need to be removed from your life. That's it. That's what they said. I said what I said, they said. Okay. That was abrupt. It wasn't me. All right. No wonder you're exhausted. Okay. Alrighty then. And that does tie in perfectly to the topic for today too. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. I'm glad you could spend your birthday with the soul soup. All right. So, yeah, ties in perfectly with today's topic because I did want to talk about experiences, you know, soul experiences with others, like we talked about yesterday, you know, past lives and stuff, but not necessarily past lives today. That just bringing that up for I don't know, your awareness, but also our experiences with other people that we may not necessarily have that like soul bond with, like I've incarnated with you so many times, or maybe not even once before. Maybe this is someone you haven't really played a game with, you haven't really done the play yet, and they were like, hey, I'll be your extra, or hey, I'll be your villain, or whatever it is. Oh, thank you, Anna. Oh, good. I'm glad. No cheese today, motherfucker. You're welcome, Susan. So, every experience that we have, you hear me talk about. This is another tool to your belt for the life you're building, for the new earth paradigm that we're all building, for blah 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 whatever. Every experience is just that, whether we perceive it as positive or negative, good or bad in our life when we're going through them. They are set up for a purpose, for us to learn certain things. And a lot of the times we will learn lessons in painful ways, like don't touch the fire, it will burn you. You know, it's just a thing with this realm. Thank you, Matt. So the people that we encounter, whether it's just a 5-minute interaction or it's some kind of a connection, some kind of a relationship, and it could be super positive the whole time and till the end, or it could be super positive until, oh, I think that we're doing different directions in our life, so parting amicably. Well, this could be friends or romantic, doesn't matter. Family, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, definitely watch the replay, Linda. Oh, you're welcome, Ben. Thank you. I'm glad. Um, So we'll go through difficulty, we'll go through positive situations that are easy and effortless. These could be experiences or, experiences with human interaction or connection with other people. My villains have been some damn good actors, bravo them, for real, right? They need the Academy Award on the other side or something. I feel that one too, but every single experience lends us some kind of lesson, no matter what. Okay. So the experiences that we have with others or the experiences that we have throughout our lives, we might say, did I fucking plan this? Let me see that soul contract. Or I would have never planned something like that for myself. That's blah, blah, blah. You're, this horrible person for saying that I would choose that for me. Well, take that up with your higher self. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but everyone does it. And from the soul's perspective, which I very much can see, I can see why, and I can identify with why we would have some of the situations in our life to experience. And this is coming from someone who's lived a very fucking tough life from birth. Okay. My mother forgot she even had me when I was a newborn and drove an hour away and then got all the way there and realized because my aunt said something, where's the baby? And had to turn around and come back and pick me up. So that's 2 hours unaccounted for that I was just chilling by myself. So from the get go, I was not very important. And soul is so tough. Yeah. A lot of us have been through some shit. Okay. And I haven't even been through some of the worst things that there are to experience. And I am so grateful for that, but at the same time, I've experienced some really difficult shit and I've had to come to terms with that as an adult. And my family not believing in mental health therapy or, anything like that. They're just like, oh, pray it away. So religious trauma and all of that stuff, all of the good stuff, right? So that's okay. I've come to terms. Yeah, my mother is one of those things. Neglectful, abusive, like you name it, abandonment stuff. Yeah. So we most of us have experienced some really difficult stuff though. So it's those experiences. Yeah, I would never wish that on another child, on anyone. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I can't believe, looking back from a different perspective, seeing my inner child, my child self, being put through those kinds of things by someone who's supposed to love them unconditionally. So I can understand how you would be like, oh hell no, how oh thank you, Cassandra. Um like I wouldn't choose that for myself. Well, you don't think so from this perspective, from the perspective that feels the pain and the emotions and all of those things, but the higher self doesn't really experience those emotions. That's why it incarnates into these experiences to gather that data. So from if you look at it from more, I'm not going to say it's like a blending of the two. I'm just going to say it from more of a scientific perspective or more of like, I don't want to say sterile, but kind of it's kind of removing yourself in a way from the emotions of it and all of the humanness of it to see the larger perspective of why it might be beneficial to have that kind of experience. And for me, that benefit is because so I could experience those things so that I could heal those things and so that I can show others how to do the same for themselves because that's the easiest way once that suffering and once all of that kind of energy is existing in a place, that's the easiest way and the fastest way to omit that whole suffering energy from the entire plane is to, we're like a bunch of air purifiers. It's nasty and smoggy down here, and we come with our, superhuman upgraded HEPA filter selves, and we all come down here and we take on all of that stuff and we feel really bogged down, but we're cleansing the environment. We're taking all of that on, we're cleansing it, we're purifying it, and then we're putting out the good stuff, right? So we got to clean our filter from time to time. We got to rinse ourselves out. We got to let the healing waters flow. Okay, so that's what a lot of our purpose, those of us who have experienced great difficulty, um, it's so that we can kind of purify the air here, so that we can rid this realm of that, this plane of that, so that these beings don't have to experience this difficulty anymore, so that they can fully ascend back into who they truly are, because it's been a very big hurdle. It's been like a giant mountain and they're on a tricycle, okay? And it's rocky terrain. It's like that's never going to happen. Um, See how many thousands of years it's been this way. Um, yeah, Cassandra, I understand that one too. And it's something that no one should experience, but there are those of us who have experienced things like that, or similar. Hey Jay. So we go through it so that we can heal through it, so that others who haven't been able to heal through that, whether you ever come into contact with them or not, we're talking energetically, you're creating this off ramp from that highway of misery, right? You're creating, you're the trailblazer breaking ground and creating this trail to get out of that loop, off of that highway, so that others can heal themselves too. You're energetically creating that pathway for them, and you don't ever have to even speak about your experience and how you healed it or anything like that. Energetically it's there, but there are a lot of people who do speak about the things that they've gone through and what they either are in the process of still healing, or having done quite a bit of healing work on it. um yeah, it's difficult, but you're so strong for being able to overcome things that are just super difficult like that. So um, you need to recognize your strength and your power of healing and own it. Okay, own that shit. Yeah, we are experimenting in a way. Yeah, we are our own science experiment. So yeah, really fun stuff. But that's why I talk about it, because every single thing you learn, whether it was something painful and difficult, tragic, anything like that, you still take with it bits of information, bits of experience, and those are tools that you add to your tool belt. Like for me, in experiencing a childhood where I had a very abusive and neglectful mother, and basically I was under her thumb, and anytime I even looked out of line, I was getting smacked, or I was getting some kind of punishment that I thought was like what every kid had at home. Like that was the punishment for everyone. So you're not going to say anything's not normal because you don't know any different. But then whenever you become conscious, like that's not okay, and you start to heal those parts of you that experience that. And then also, like with me, I don't parent even remotely close to the way that my mother did, and I take great care in what I instill in my children and their feeling of safety and security. And um, I value their kindness and their creative thinking over anything that's measurable, like in school or anything like that. So that's me breaking that generational trauma and healing that for myself, but also for my children, healing my past in my present for my future, right? Which is my children. You went out to dinner tonight. Awesome. And you told a lady you loved her outfit. Oh, that's so awesome. See, you never know what kind of interactions you're going to have. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Linda. Yep, quantum physics. Exactly, Kura. Security. So whatever you're dealing with, especially the difficult things, all right, be mindful of what lessons you can learn, but also the good things, because there's lessons and good things that you can soak up from those kind of experiences if you reflect on those, if you are mindful about the experience and record that energy, okay, for future manifestation. um, ammo. Future manifestation ammo. They're like, whenever you're experiencing the joyful things, what else can I learn from this experience? What else can I soak up from this? I'm going to record this feeling, my thoughts and my feelings right now in the having of this thing, in the fulfillment, and really savor every part of it and then record it, okay, for history, so that your ego can record that. And because your ego is programmable, right? We're always programming our ego. So start recording the good things and refer back to those whenever you're working on intentions and manifestations moving forward. Does it all lead to loving yourself? Absolutely. You didn't even turn red. You felt very comfortable. I love that. It's natural, isn't it? Like, dude, you guys, this is always the way that I've been, but sometimes like I will go to pay someone a compliment and I can feel the impact that it has for them personally, but also sometimes it's from a passed on loved one and it touches them in such a deep way. I cannot get everything that I'm supposed to say out before I start tearing up and choking up. So like it's it that like I have to explain myself a little bit, like, I'm sorry if I'm weirding you out, but this is how I operate. I get like psychic info and emotions and like, sorry that I'm this blubbering idiot trying to tell you you're beautiful. you know so oh, you've been doing that too lately. I love that, Ben. That is so awesome. You're totally different parent with your granddaughters. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a different parent with my boys than I was with Haley whenever I started out parenting her. Um, not like drastically different, but more mindful, I would say. Understanding from life experience how to be more mindful with certain areas, so that I can teach them to the best of my ability. But I did do all of that with Haley. It's just I was 19 when I had her, I was really young and I had no real positive parental role model, my grandparents, but I would say that they intended to be positive, but there was a lot of detrimental old beliefs and old practices going on there too. But they did their best, and especially as grandparents, so you can't really fault them for that. But yeah. Thank you, Wendy. But yes, it is never too late to heal. And it's never too late to spread that kindness and that love and joy to others. And think about it. If you encounter a stranger who's never had anyone do the same thing, in public, hey, you're really beautiful. I love your smile, or your energy's great, or, whatever you feel like telling them, they might have never experienced that before. Kindness from a stranger, that's foreign to a lot of people. So then their awareness has expanded to, oh, I can make another person feel good, and I can immediately impact their day by making them smile if I just take a split second to say some kind words. And then they go doing that to other people, and those other people are like, oh shit, I can do that too. You see? So make it a normal thing, right? That I love doing that. I love interacting positively with people and telling them good things about themselves, making them smile, giving them a little gift, even if it's just a little crystal tumble or something. It's really nice, and it causes other people to expand their awareness and say, hey, this happened to me, I can make this happen to other people and make them feel as good as I felt, and that feels really good for me. So I love that. Does anybody have any examples or any questions or anything that you're going through that could this topic could shed some light on? Domino effect, exactly. 18 with Tammy and 20 with Amy. So much happens. We actually grow into adults. Exactly. And whenever we're that young, we're kind of still growing up alongside our children, you know? But that's so cool that your kids are Tammy and Amy. Have you ever seen um was it 1000 Pound Sisters? Their names are Tammy and Amy, and I love them. They're so funny. But yeah, their characters, man. But that's really cool. That's just something personally for me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cute. Yep, pay it forward. That's how we shine light on others, and that sparks the light within them. That sparks goodness within them, you know. And maybe not everyone's gonna do it. Maybe other people are introverted and like super scared of doing that, or maybe you do it to a person that doesn't like other people. Honey, what are you doing? Okay, just be careful. Bathroom. That was Leighton. That's my babyest baby. That's what I call him because he's the youngest by 1 minute. So I couldn't believe they got two of them out that quickly, just a minute apart. But they did it. You don't know what it's like to be me, Amy. Do you love that show too, Kara? That would be awesome. I'm waiting for the new season to come out. You guys, I subscribed to HBO Max just so that I could watch the seasons of that show, and I never canceled the subscription. But it comes in handy sometimes. Like, what was I watching? Oh, you guys, we're totally changing the subject. It's not even on topic. I love both of those colors, Cassandra, silver and gold. I love both. Yeah, I'll wear both, and I wear copper or rose gold. Like, I love them all. I don't think I have a preference. But has any of you seen that series, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, about the um, Russian little person that was adopted in the US? And then they were like, they re-aged her to 22 years old when she was 8. And they were like trying to say that she was a psycho. I watched that. And the third season is on HBO Max, in case anyone's wondering. But there was only like 3 or 4 episodes of it. Sorry if you guys hear the toilet flushing. That's my kid. He has to open the door when he flushes. It's a sensory thing. My daughter was the same way. I know. That is so cool, huh, Susan? Yeah, Cassandra, of course. Oh, Leighton's waving to everyone. Thanks, buddy. Dude, like that show like tore me up, man. And of course she's gonna have like behavioral stuff after going through all of that um unimaginable, starting in the orphanage when she was in the Ukraine. She wasn't Russian, she was Ukrainian, sorry. Yeah, no, she wasn't a grown woman posing as a child. They were trying to portray her that way, but like dental records and DNA testing and all of that, and then they found her mother in the Ukraine, her birth mother, and like did a DNA test. The birth mother would have had to be 10 years old to give birth to her if she was actually the age they were trying to say she was. But they just wanted to be out from under the responsibility. No, she wasn't 22. She was 8 years old, and they put her in an apartment by herself. They knew she wasn't 22. They knew well and good that she wasn't. But the whole family, like they had their kids abusing her, throwing her downstairs, and all kinds of craziness. Like it just broke my heart to pieces. And I don't know. You guys have to watch it because I don't want to spoil it for you. But her adopted family, yeah, I it was difficult. It was so difficult to watch. Yeah, a lot of people thought she was pretending because that's what like they were portraying, and then the adopted mother was like she was abusing her, physically abusing her and mentally and emotionally, but they got her when she was 6. They, yeah, total narcissists, but Oh my goodness, Patrick, I'm sorry, honey. He says, hate to interrupt, but my dog was just brutally attacked, currently at the ER. Please send healing. His name is Zeus, and he's the sweetest. Yes, honey, we're all doing it right now. And I'll do some energy work for Zeus um, this evening after the podcast. I'll do a water channeling for healing for Zeus. Yeah, she was a child. Like, it's insane. Carrie, you're gonna have to watch that series. It's on Hulu, and the third season is gonna be available starting on the 16th, so next week, on Hulu. But if you have Max, it's all on there too. Of course, Patrick, we love you so much. Sending you so much strength, love, and healing, and for little Zeus. Yes. We're going to get right on that, Patrick. You got a whole community of healers here for you, supporting you and supporting Zeus. But yeah, if you guys have access to Hulu or HBO Max, that is something to watch. Totally, like, the way that they set up the documentary was first from the adopted father's perspective and his narcissistic lioness. Um, and he's a terrible actor for me because like I can totally see through it. But I can see how a lot of people would have been fooled. But it's just, and she is like, yeah, she has her problems. She has attachment disorders and things like that. But how could she not? She started being severely abused beginning in the orphanage before she even left the Ukraine, abused by a male doctor, if you know what I mean. Um, or some kind of authoritarian figure in the orphanage. I don't know that he was a doctor, so I can't really say that. But unexplainable things happened to her there that she couldn't even speak about whenever she was, after she came here and they were asking her about it, because how could you articulate yourself as a 6-year-old to begin with, having gone through things like that, and just awful things, awful, awful, awful things that girl went through. And like, she's still so bright. She understands like the injustice, and she's just trying to live her life now. She's getting more freedom as she goes. But I know that's we elect to experience these things so that we can heal through these things as volunteers, because it's something that's been going on in this plane for way too long. And the suffering, the fear, like all of that, it's just a vicious cycle. So you can definitely tell that she's a volunteer. I can anyway. Watching it and seeing from the perspective that I can reach, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is like a beautiful light. Right, Cassandra? Trying not to cry. That would be a contract, yes, a soul contract for sure. But yeah, and then I go watching Love on the Spectrum today while I'm trying to get my makeup on and get ready for my day. And um, I've been emotional. So just transmuting and putting out that sacred water. Yeah. Well, it's when you don't have much of the story, and then they've obviously done a lot of investigation and stuff to find out the truth, because a judge, without even seeing her or having any kind of hearing, just said, oh, she's not 8 anymore, she's 22 because the parents say so. So ridiculous. Oh, it's called The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. That's what the docu series is, and they ended up doing 3 seasons. I think they probably only anticipated doing 1 or 2, but they did actually do a third, and there's only 3 episodes on it, so I don't know if they're still in the middle of it or if that was all. Like, that kind of confused me because it was a little abrupt. So I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely recommend that. If you guys have the stomach to hear and see, like they do reenactments, not like super in-depth reenactments, but it's difficult to watch, especially as a sensitive. Um, but yeah, very, very courageous soul, that one. And then to be in the public eye and be under scrutiny and people's judgments and saying that they know for a fact that, you know, whatever, this way or that way, it doesn't matter. It's just putting yourself, after experiencing all of that, living through all of that, being on your own. And they had her in a second floor apartment up a steep flight of stairs, and the stairs were tall. She's a little person, okay? She has physical limitations associated with her condition. Her legs and her feet like don't work like a normal able-bodied person. She needs, you know, help or accessibility, and they put her in the middle of the worst neighborhood. They were hoping for someone to unalive her. I know it, because they didn't want to have to deal with her anymore and all of that. And then they moved to Canada, Lafayette, Louisiana, the ghettoest ghetto in Lafayette. They put an 8-year-old in her own apartment, second story, steep stairs the whole way, can't reach the locks hardly, you know, like to even get in and out. How are you going to get groceries? How are you going to go, you know, do anything? It was insane. And he was like prosecuted for neglect, but they couldn't bring her age into accountability in that case, because it was because she was still aged as an adult. But whenever he was, you know, dealing with these charges, I think she was 19 by the time they pressed charges on him, and he got off of it because they didn't have all of the information, and the jury didn't even want to find him not guilty, but they did, because they felt that the judge instructed him basically to do so. um, so the whole thing is just messed up. The wife who inflicted most of the abuse and was the, you know, most of the coordination of all the planning, hasn't had any charges or anything like that pressed on her. There's yeah, it's, the justice system is not justice whatsoever. 111, thank you, Anna. So yeah, here, I'll put it in the comments here. There we go. And you can find it on, there we go. Did those show up on your guys's? It shows YouTube, yes. Did it show up on Facebook? Maybe, maybe not. I can comment it on Facebook too. Here. There we go. That should show up. Yeah. That thing, that, yeah, that got me, that show. But anywho, I know it's way off topic, but something that I've been personally, you know, moving through for, I guess. It was, oh yes, karma is very real, and it's bringing awareness. That's the important thing, because the justice system is one of the many broken systems that needs to crumble, right? So this kind of thing, even though we don't see what people would deem as justice, it's still bringing awareness to the changes that need to be made. And you know, sadly, justice in that way might never be found, but there is always karma, which is just cause and effect. So you reap what you sow. Whoever, whatever anyone's sown in those situations, they're gonna reap. So it's gonna balance out eventually, but it's just really, really sad, especially with a child, and especially with a special needs child. Like, kids need extra attention, period. And then there are kids with special needs, whether that's neurodivergence or physical limitations or anything like that. They need loving caregivers to accommodate their needs, to meet their needs, especially if you're an adoptive family and you know you're adopting a child who has special needs, who also came from unknown circumstances in another country. You know what I mean? Um, so, and that's not the craziest stuff, you guys. The mother was actually writing books and she had her own foundation that she created. And what was it for? Bringing awareness to adopted children with disabilities and their mistreatment and torment and abuse by their caregivers. How did she know so much to write about something like that? It's insane, right? Perfect cover up. Narcissists will put on the facade that they want everyone to see, and it can be exactly the opposite of exactly what they're doing. Okay. So always use your discernment, trust your gut, trust your intuition when it comes to any kind of situation, because they're out there and they're real, you know. The only monsters are humans, sadly. But that's why we're here, to create a new world, a better world, to bring the vibe up. Okay. So, anywho, well, I guess I can let you guys get back to your evening, and I won't see you guys tomorrow or Saturday. The child's mother, her adopted mother. It was the adopted mother. Um, but the child's birth mother, the reason why she was given up for adoption in the first place, she was born in Ukraine in less than favorable circumstances, and favorable, where did that come from? Favorable, not favorable, whatever. Mercury still got me, bow shadow. But she was told by the doctors there in the Ukraine in 2003, okay, that she had dwarfism and she had all of these medical issues, and that she would be paralyzed for life, and that she wouldn't be able to have like a normal life, and she had all these medical needs, which was true. She needed, she had a lot of medical needs. But that's why the mother gave her up to begin with, and she didn't know she was going to be relocated to the US. Yeah. Yes, everyone have a beautiful next couple of days. I'm going to take a break and do some more planting of some seeds, get some more sprouts going, and probably try to get at least the ones that are big enough to go outside, get those ones out there, or at least get the stuff ready for them to go out there once they're ready. Oh, hey, Suzanne. Love you. I hope you had a beautiful class. Oh, you're welcome, Wendy. Thank you, love. Yeah, we're just getting ready to pop off of here, but I will be back with you guys on Sunday. You're welcome, Cassandra. Thank you. Love you, Ben. Thank you. So yeah, I will see you guys again on Sunday. Remember, Sunday and Monday are early days, so it's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. British summertime now, right? 9 p.m. Yeah, 9 p.m. So I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a beautiful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Mwah. Take care. Love you.